So, are you ready for this? During the last 4 years, I have manifested well over $100 million on behalf of myself and my clients. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 principles that makes this work. If you can get to know all of the 7 principles, you can manifest everything you want. Pain disappearing, wealth appearing, new relationships appearing in your reality, anything you would like. Stick around. Let's see if we can get this under half an hour. Maybe we can't, but let's do it. All 7 principles are in this document that I'm sharing with you now. I've manifested over $100 million within 4 years. This is what I learned. So, a quick introduction. 8 years ago, I was working hard, too hard. Many of you know this. I had built multiple $1 million businesses, but if I'm honest, I was still struggling. Struggling to keep up, struggling to control everything, struggling to make sure the next big thing actually happened. I was successful, but I wasn't free. And I was actually making all the money that I could ever dream of. But I just had a shitty personality on top of that money. Stressed all the time, could not leave work. Yeah, maybe you know the drill. So what changed? I stopped playing the part-time manifestation game, and I went all in on something most people don't even realize exists: identity-based manifestation. So identity-based manifestation, this is what I teach. If you would like to be coached by me, link is in the description. I also have a new link in my description, which is for my totally new Instagram account. Follow me in there for more day-to-day content. Or not. Today, I want to share exactly what I learned on my way to manifesting over $100 million in combined revenue and how you can use these principles to transform your business and your life. Let's do it. Principle number 1, most important principle, but won't really work unless you know how to work it with the other principles. Principle number 1, identity over everything. So most people, they think of law of attraction as a trick. And a lot of my clients, which most of them, they are already rich. They know about law of attraction, but they know about law of attraction from that point of view as you are employing a trick, or the other very popular aspect, well, think it and you will have it, right? Just think a lot about it. Well, neither of these are correct. So most people think manifestation is about attracting something. Most people think that. It's not. It's about being the person who already has it. So we will not talk so much about that in this video, but every reality that you can assume, like everything you can think of, is a possibility right now. Time does not exist as you know it. Just accept that fact for this video's sake. So everything imaginable is just as real as any memory you have. And if you can contain it in your imagination, it can be real someday. So it's about being the person who's aligned with that timeline. When I was still trying to become a millionaire, my results matched that identity. Someone who was trying. And someone who is trying is most of my clients, and it's most of you out there. You're trying with a trick. And even though you can employ these tricks, these methods, which some of the principles will include methods, then it's really not about that. The moment I decided this is who I am now and live from that place every single day, my outer reality had no choice but to match. So you don't manifest what you visit. You really manifest what you live in day to day. Principle number 2, the past is not fixed. Very powerful. This one changes everything. The past is not a fixed story. Your perception of it is constantly being rewritten. Your past affects you in which memories do you bring into the present moment. The way you remember your failures or limitations is not history. It's a choice you are making now. There is only this now moment. And if you include something from your past, it is affecting your now moment. And what we will do here on the channel often, and also with my clients, we will rewrite the past. Let's say you are in deep debt. Instead of rewriting, manifesting, getting rid of that debt, why not rewrite having that debt entirely? Going back in time, never ever accepting any debt. Right? And then live in that perception. That's just a small example of what you can do with manifestation. So instead of just going to the future, say, what would I like? You can go into the past. What would I have liked to happen? And then include that in your present moment as your assumption of your entire life. I know you believe your memories very strongly. You attach to them. This is me. My trauma affects me. My this affects me. My dad used to do this. My mom used to do this. I know that. But what if, from the present moment, you could assume something else had happened? When you are changing timelines, you are also shifting what has happened before. If you tell the story that you've always been the type of person who bounces back, your mind will reorganize every past event to support that truth. So when we start manifesting stuff, include it in every picture of you. Like include it in a picture of you in the present moment. Include it in that fictional moment you call the future, and also include it in that fictional moment you call the past. Principle number 3, stop part time manifesting. And this is very powerful as well. A lot of people do this without realizing. They manifest in the morning. Most people do that, or in the night with their affirmations or visualizations, then spend the rest of their day living as their old self. So your identity can clock out right at 10:30 a.m. It's either your full-time job or it's not your reality. And that's the assumption. So let's say you find yourself to be ugly and you would like to be beautiful, whatever, right? Just a simple example. If you every morning think, oh, I'm so beautiful, I'm so ugly, let's affirm I'm beautiful, then that affirmation is reinforcing you being ugly, you feeling ugly, everybody else feeling it for you as well. So let's jump to the assumption instead of jump to that affirmation. And if you then say that in the mirror and then go around every like all the rest of the day, I hope it's working, I hope it's working. You are not living it. You are staying in your old reality, right? So stop part-time manifesting. It's not a trick you employ. It is becoming that person who already is it and staying to that perception. Principle number 4, I'm quickly glancing over these so you can get as much info as possible in the least amount of time. Now we're at 7 minutes, so I think we will do very fast in this video. Feelings over thoughts. So thoughts alone, they don't create reality. They are like light bulbs without electricity, actually. We are all thinking all the time. The more we charge a thought with emotion, the more powerful it is. The feeling you carry is the current that powers them. So that's why it's not enough to think like a millionaire, you must feel like one, even before the evidence shows up. And feelings, there's a reason why I did not write emotions, because it's really about your state of conviction. Like if I ask you how old you are, you will know your age, not slightly know it, not doubt it, right? You will know it. You will also not doubt it. You will also feel like that. And that is what I mean by feelings. What is your state of knowing? How rich do you know yourself to be? How beautiful do you know yourself to be? And that's really about rewiring that internal world of yours to the state of, I know this to be true. And I've told you this example before. It's the same with Kanye West going around as a youngster saying, I'm the greatest rapper alive, right? That's a knowing inside you that is not dependent on any outside noise. If a guy told you, well, you're not 34, you're actually 52, you would not be concerned because you knew that person to, like, I know my age so well that a stranger telling me it's not true, it doesn't really affect me. It's the same with the blue hair examples I sometimes use on this channel. If somebody tells you you have ugly blue hair, do you react? No, because you don't have blue hair. And that point is really about finding an internal place of truth. What do I know about myself to be true? And then let that reflect what is on the outside. Otherwise, you are always like yelling at your echo in some very relevant sense. You are yelling at the mirror, right? Why does the mirror look like that, right? Well, it's you and your reflection, the world you live in, your business, your health. It's a reflection of you. If you don't like it, don't punch the mirror. That won't help you. Then you have some cleaning up to do. Just change yourself. Assume something else to be true. Principle 5, perception is your dashboard. Your perception is like the control panel of your reality. Everything you experience is filtered through it. And if you're running a business and you perceive every market change as a threat, your actions will match that fear. If you perceive the same changes as opportunities, you will spot moves nobody else sees. And that's perception is really also about being in the present moment. But let's just talk about perception for a second, because we all think that something is affecting us. Our partner telling us stuff that we don't like, our business partner telling us stuff we don't like, our body signaling pain to us that we don't like. But it's really like our interpretation. It's really about our perception of that thing, right? So if you have like pain in your body because it's hurting and you don't know why, it might annoy you. You might be worried about something. But what if you're not worried? What if you intentionally hurt your arm by getting a tattoo? Then it really does not annoy you in the same way, right? Even though the pain is the same. So that example should tell you it's your perception. What do you think about that pain? And when you think about pain, you always identify with it. You always identify with your weight, your age, beliefs. You identify with it. It's your perception that is doing the harmful thing to you. You are doing it to you, not the other way around. It's never the guy cutting you in traffic that is hurting you, unless he actually hits you, right? But if he cuts you in traffic, the person hurting you is you. If you doubt your business result, who is doubting it? You are. The business is not doubting it. You are doubting it. If you are anxious before going on to like the field because you are a football player, like who is doing that to you? You are, but not your true identity. And we'll talk more about that maybe later in this video, maybe in another video. But your true identity is not the anxious one. Your perception is at the moment, and your perception can change. So, like I told you with the pain, if you can reframe that, you can become unstoppable in any area of life. So, principle 6, assumption creates reality, obviously, right? What you assume to be true will be true over time. Every day, ask yourself an invisible question: what's going to happen today? And what you know to be true will happen. And then realize that you are never surprised, right? This principle 6 is so common, it's so very powerful. Oh, like as well, like you are never surprised when you hear me say that sentence. You're not really listening to the words. You're never surprised by reality. So that means the reality that you are not satisfied with, the business you're not satisfied with, you're never like, wow, that is so dissatisfying. You're always like, yeah, it's always like that. My partner is always like that. Yeah, it always rains when I don't need it to rain, right? You humans, they really like interpreting stuff as if like internalizing everything they hate as if, yeah, it's always like that, not knowing that you are affirming the same future for yourself. So this assumption and this question, what's going to happen today, is very powerful, because realize what you want to answer to that question immediately is your current reality. So that's your assumption. Your assumption is not you're going to be very rich today. You're going to be very beautiful today. You're going to be perfect today, right? The answer to that question is important. So work with yourself on that question. Then try really forcing a new answer today. Well, this is my internal belief about what is going to happen today. That's your assumption. And tomorrow it will be easier. Change that autopilot from sticking to your current reality to a new reality. Most people unconsciously assume the same outcomes they've always had. Change the assumption and you change the result. Yes, this is why Neville Goddard said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. We talk about Neville all the time, so no, we will not talk more about that in this video. Principle 7, mistakes are perception feedback. So when you assume something is a failure, it becomes one. You take it on. The failure is in itself nothing. Your perception about that failure is something. But if you stopped assuming that, what if you said, this result is simply feedback that my conviction wasn't fully aligned yet, and that's okay. This result is simply a feedback from my old reality, which I do not no longer occupy. And here's the rules I live by. Anything that builds my conviction, I internalize. I say it all the time in my workshops, here on YouTube. Anything that affirms to me, that tells me that my manifestation is working, that my identity is being reflected in the way that I like, I internalize. Of course it is like that. If I receive money unexpectedly, of course it is like that. If I make millions on a deal, of course it is like that. If I get a new client, obviously, right? Everything, internalize it. Obviously it is like that. It matches my identity to the T. Anything that starts out, I externalize it. So a missing result, cannot relate to that. A bad day, cannot relate to that thought. Pain in my body, I do not identify with that pain. I don't have it. I see myself as healthy, right? That's it. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the only principle you need from this video, if you could only pick one. Because what most people do is that they look at the 25, 30, 40, 50% of their life that they don't like. And then they just keep on really taunting that. I hate that. But I am it. I hate it, but I am it. Why can't I get rid of it? Well, can you see the identification with that? Can you see how much energy you spend on it? Can you see how much valuable life energy you put in that direction? And that is what most people do with their missing business result, with the people not answering their emails, with the thing that is haunting them, with the trauma that is holding them back. Then they keep on reaffirming that. So instead of trauma, like something from their childhood, yes, brings doubt to the money relationship, whatever, right? Yeah, but my mom taught me that. Well, now you're telling you that you need to stick with that because your mom told you that. So your perception right now is on the lag, and you build it with proof, right? So you're really sticking to your story, and your ego likes that. And if I told you otherwise, some of you guys and girls who I talk to, you really like your story. So sometimes I have to be really careful about how I word that it's not true, because you're like, but it is true, and don't take it away. It caused me a lot of pain. Well, I know that, and I'm here to take that pain away in the present moment. Let's stop feeling that pain. I know how this works. I spent years in business doing the logical thing, planning everything. And by the way, that's very hard for somebody with ADHD. Trying to anticipate every risk, working 12-hour days to make sure nothing slipped through the cracks. It worked, but only to a point. I was constantly chasing. I wasn't living in the end result. I was living in the fear of losing it. What I should have been doing more of is simply going to the beach. I should have known that me wanting it, me knowing it to be true, was enough. I should have been handing my power over to God, or Allah, the universe, source, infinite intelligence, whatever you believe in. It all stems from you. You are an extension of whatever you believe in. Your consciousness is the all that we are talking about. So when we go inside, we actually go up in terms of belief. I should have spent more time in that, just really believing what I wanted. I could have. But instead, I went around affirming my own identity. Yeah, but I'm still the one looking for it. I don't have it yet. I'm working to, maybe in 10 years I can have it. Always postponing my reality. And when it did not work out, I was annoyed. And that annoyment created a loop. And then I stayed in that loop until I was luckily kicked out of that loop. More on that another time. The moment I committed to my true dream identity and started making impulsive, inspired moves, my entire world shifted. I really took some chances on my new identity, just assumed something wonderful to be true about myself. Opportunities came out of nowhere. I stopped forcing growth, and growth started finding me. So why should manifestation work for you as a business owner? Because your business is not a machine, it's an extension of you. Your offers, your clients, your partnerships, they are all reflections of who you are being. So when you change your state, you don't just change how you feel, you change the reality that responds to you. In a practical sense, your identity becomes your emotions and your thoughts, and they really affect which actions you take. And obviously, the actions you take is responsible for all the results you have. But the actions, they are not important to work on because they will come automatically when you change your identity. So the choice right now, you can keep on doing what you're doing, playing the game as the version of you who hopes it works, or you can go full identity, full conviction, full alignment, full certainty, full authority. And that's when you stop manifesting part time and start living your results full time. So really entail what you would like in your present moment and realize how you perceive time at the moment, how you perceive your external reality might not be as simple as you believe it to be. Maybe what you have right here is not the perfect reflection. How do we change that? How do we change what is being viewed in the mirror? The only difference is that the mirror changes instantly, while the external reality, there is a waiting period. But manifestation is instantly, because in that moment you are shifting timelines, and that timeline includes everything you would like at a certain time. The timing and how to go there, we won't talk about it in this video, but I promise you, you don't have to care about it. The how and the when, throw it out, let it be. You care about the end destination. And how do you get to know that? Well, with these principles. I have manifested over $100 million in the last few years, but the money was just the side effect. The real win was becoming the person who didn't have to question whether it would happen. And that's really the lovely thing you get to live when you start believing in this, is that you never have to care, because you always know you're right. You will never be done. You will always have more desires, and that's okay. You can't be wrong. If something appears in your reality, internalize it or externalize it. If you don't like it, it's contrast. It's there to show you what you would like more of, or in what direction you should go in. So if you're ready to become that person, start today. Watch my other videos, subscribe to this channel, like this video, or join my coaching program if that's what you're into. Not next week, but now. 23 minutes on the clock. Thanks for watching. Get out of here.